Okay, this is part two of our review of angle pairs and transversals and bisectors. So we're picking up here with number 6. We are using the converse of all of those rules that if the lines are parallel, then corresponding angles are congruent, for example. But we can turn that around and say if corresponding angles are congruent, then we know that the lines are parallel. So that's the case here for A. Since the corresponding angles are congruent, the lines are parallel, and we're just to describe how, we're just going to state that succinctly. So first I'm just going to go ahead through and say yes or no, can we prove that they're parallel? So for A, we're definitely going to say yes. Okay, corresponding angles congruent. For B, these are alternate interior angles that are congruent, so that's going to be a yes. Okay, and for C, these are consecutive interior angles. They have to be supplementary. Oh, look at that, they are supplementary. So that means that P and Q are also proven to be parallel. So now we have to go back and state our postulates. Alright, so here's a brief way of stating the postulate or theorem. Corresponding angles congruent implies lines parallel. Or this could be read, if corresponding angles are congruent, then lines are parallel. Similarly, we'll say basically the same thing, only with alternate interior angles. So alternate interior angles congruent implies lines parallel. Over here, we're going to make a similar statement, but we're not going to say congruent. These are not congruent. They are supplementary. And so we're going to say consecutive interior angles supplementary implies lines parallel. So consecutive interior angles, I said congruent. I just said I wasn't going to say that, and I did. What am I supposed to say instead of congruent? Supplementary. Okay, so that's a little better. Consecutive interior angles supplementary implies lines parallel. Okay, number 7. So now we're talking about bisectors. Alright, when we are bisecting something, we are cutting it into two equal halves. So if ray BD bisects the angle, then these two smaller angles are congruent to each other. Alright, that means that 5x minus 22 should equal 2x plus 35. So let's subtract 2x from both sides. And that's going to give me 3x minus 22 is equal to 35. Now let's add 22 to both sides. And that's going to give me 3x is equal to 57. So now let's divide both sides by 3. And that's 19. So x is 19. Now the angle ABD, that's this angle right here. Now that we know that x is 19, this is going to become 2 times 19 plus 35. That's 73 degrees. Okay, how about angle DBC? D to the B to the C. That's going to be this angle right here. So now that we know that x is 19, this is going to become 5 times 19 minus 22. So that is 73 degrees. Of course, those are going to be the same because they're equal. Angle ABC is the full angle, both of these together, so we'll just double this. So that's 146 degrees. Okay, part B over here is the same thing. These should be two congruent halves. So that means that 4x minus 9 should equal 2x plus 7. Subtracting 2x from both sides is going to give us 2x minus 9 is equal to 7. Adding 9 to both sides is going to give us 2x is equal to 16. And dividing both sides by 2 is going to give us x is equal to 8. Angle ABD, A to the B to the D, is this angle right here. Now that we know that x is 8, this is going to become 2 times 8 plus 7. So that's 23. Angle DBC is going to be the same thing. And angle ABC is going to be the sum of these. So that'll be 46 degrees. Okay, they didn't give us a picture this time, so we'll have to draw our own. But A is the midpoint of segment CT. So let's draw that. So here is segment CT. So we'll call that C and we'll call that T. And A is the midpoint. That's cute. It spells cat. Anyway, segment CA is 3x plus 6. Well, really they should have just said CA is 3x plus 6. Whatever. So this is 3x plus 6. Okay, and CT is 24. Alright, so the whole thing is 24. Find x. Well, if the whole thing is 24 and A is the midpoint, alright, that means both of the halves are congruent. So that means this is 12 and this is 12. That means 3x plus 6 should equal this 12. So 3x plus 6 is going to equal the 12. So we should just solve this. So let's subtract 6 from both sides. So that's going to give us 3x is equal to 6. And divide by 3. So that's x is equal to 2. And that's all we were supposed to find, apparently, for that one. Alright, it just says find x, so that means we're done. Alright, number 9. A is the midpoint of CT. Alright, so same picture again. Alright, so there's CT, and A is supposed to be the midpoint. Alright, CA is 2x plus 8. AT is 4x plus 2. Find x and the length of CT. Well, this time these two expressions should equal each other. So 4x plus 2 should equal the 2x plus 8. So let's subtract 2x from both sides. So that's going to give us 2x plus 2 is equal to 8. And then we'll subtract 2 from both sides. And that will give us 2x is equal to 6. And then we will divide by 2. Okay, so that gives us x is equal to 3. Now we're supposed to find the length of CT. Okay, well, let's use what we just found. So we found that x is equal to 3. So if x is 3, then that makes this 2 times 3 plus 8. Okay, so that's 6 plus 8, so that's 14. Alright, so that means this is 14. Okay, similarly, this is going to be 14. So together, since we're supposed to find CT, and CT is the whole thing, then that is going to be 28. 14 plus 14. Alright, one more problem. M is the midpoint of PQ. Okay, so M is the midpoint of PQ. So here is PQ, and M is my midpoint. So these two sides are congruent to each other. PM is 6x plus 7. MQ is 9x minus 8. Find the length of PQ. Okay, well, these are equal to each other. They're equal halves. So you should start by setting them equal to each other. So 9x minus 8 should equal 6x plus 7. So let's subtract 6x from both sides. And that's going to give us 3x minus 8 is equal to 7. Now let's add 8 to both sides. And that's going to give us 3x is equal to 15. And then let's divide both sides by 3. So that's going to give us x is equal to 5. So we're supposed to find, well, I probably shouldn't even put a box around that. They didn't actually ask us to find x this time. Alright, but we need it to find PQ. So PQ is the whole thing. If we substitute in the 5, then this becomes 6 times 5 plus 7. So that's 30 plus 7. So this is 37. That means this over here must also be 37. So PQ is the total of this. So that's 74. Okay, so I guess I don't have to put it anywhere else. So PQ is equal to 74. Alright, that's the end of this review. I hope it was helpful. I will see you on the next video.